Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to the Sorry True Podcast. It's your boy ARP, and we are here hanging out. Got a couple battle rap related topics, but before we jump into that, once again, I want to give a big appreciation to the continued viewership and subscribers and members joining the movement. If you know me, you know that my mind state, my motto is brick by brick. We are here for that, day after day after day, building this thing up. And I really appreciate y'all helping the kids. So don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. As always, let me look into the chat. Let me see if I got any of my mods in the building. I don't see any of my mods yet. But shout out to the members. I might need some more mods on the channel too. Reason being is because I'm going to start changing and adding other times of the day that I'm going live. And, you know, mods just like me, everybody got a life. You know what I'm saying? I know we do a lot of morning lives. So DM me on IG. If you're somebody that is, especially if you're a member, I love giving the opportunity to be mods to the members. And I'm even going to be doing things like around the holidays and stuff for mods or whatever. I'll get there later on because there will be appreciation I send back y'all way for rocking with the kid during the year and all that. But I want to add more mods because, you know, based on when I go live, you never know when people is able to join into the chats and hold the kid down. So DM me on IG if you want to be a mod on the Sorry True Podcast and all the lives that we do over here. You know what I mean? And we might get you all suited up. I see some of the mods coming in the building. Q, what up? Good morning. I see y'all. Okay, the set is here. Perfect. Because you see Aye Verb in the title. Hey, Sandy is here. Some people think that's Aye Verb. What else? Who else is in here? I see it's all good mornings, man. So I want to send good mornings right back y'all way. I really appreciate it. Yesterday's live too. Last night's live, because we did 2 joints yesterday. Last night's live, shout out to everybody that was able to tune in or hung around, I should say. But I had a special guest aligned, RJ Payne, one of my favorite rappers, somebody that I can argue is the best rapper in the world right now. He's just that good to me. I have some extremely interesting questions to ask that man. Very entertaining questions I want to ask him. I want to put him on the spot for. But he was sending me the screenshots while we were live yesterday in DM. He was getting like these connection errors that wasn't allowing his microphone and his camera to turn on his phone and all that. We got to figure that out. So as soon as he's able to figure that out, I'm gonna schedule that again with him. Tune into that live when it goes down. I'm gonna expand. I'm gonna start doing more interviews, y'all. But the core of this is us here with our topics, whether entertainment world, whether I'm not really that much in politics, but battle rap world, the industry, all of that, celebrity news, drama. We here for all of that, y'all. So Thunder's Productions gifted 5 rare breed memberships. 5 memberships, man. I really appreciate that, Thunder's Productions. Big salute and shout out to you, man. That's love, man. I appreciate y'all. I got some of my ladies in the building. What's good, y'all? Lady. I'm just giving it a second. But all right. The Cassidy and John Faceoff controversy continues. I have some opinions on that. There are some things and conversations I had behind the scenes. I will mix in some of that slightly. I did catch a couple interviews. I watched John's interview on 15 Minutes of Fame, as well as his reaction to the Faceoffs last night on Hip Hop Is Real. I was tuned into the Faceoffs last night, so I'll get to that. I'll save that second. Let's go to the first topic that y'all see in this title. It says, addressing Aye Verb. Aye Verb, come sit down at the table for a second, sir. And I want to start off by saying this. Aye Verb, you and I, whether it's in private or whether it's in public, we tend to have some very vast natured debates. And I will always offer them to you. I just want to make sure that that's clear and that's fair. Not only will I always offer them to you here, I will also offer them to you on any platform that you choose as well. For example, if it's your ARP, come to my space. I have a question for you. I want to debate something. I want to talk about something. I want to argue about something. I want to address something. I will be there. If you want to do it on your YouTube channel, I will be there. If you want to do it here, I will be here. We'll keep it fair. We could do one-on-one. I extended that to you a couple weeks ago on Twitter. I know you responded by saying that you only have one target right now. I respect that. And speaking of your target, let me address that too before I get to why I put you in the title, sir, and why I need to address you directly here. Okay. Let me get to you and your target. Of course, privately, there's a lot of Hitman and Aye Verb talk, right? Like, how many conversations have I had about the Hitman and Aye Verb drama with Hitman? I talk to him so frequent, right? Of course, that shit comes up. Even with Aye Verb, that's something that you left out the other day when you were talking about you and I. You know, you said ARP hit me up, and mentioned a ceasefire. Mentioning a ceasefire is 100% true. You didn't lie there. And it really doesn't matter. It's really girly shit about what I'm about to say. I just like the context to be there so that people get the full scope and the full picture of the energy between ARP and Aye Verb, right? You actually hit me up, sir. You called my phone because we had some tweets that were going back and forth. You called my phone, which was I gave respect to. It was a man thing to do. Hey, man, what's up, man? Like, hey, these tweets, maybe we misinterpreting each other. Hey, let's talk about it. We ended up having like a 90-minute conversation, right? Talking about a lot of past and present. We got through a lot of shit. It was a very, very entertaining and fun debate for me, sir. Remember the whole lawyer and the court shit we was doing and all that? Actually, here goes Hollow right here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Hollow on the spot. I told you should subscribe. I'm actually on live right now, sir. If you would like to talk to me, I will send you the link right now, and you are more than welcome to join this live. If you and I have anything to discuss, if you want to promote, if you want to talk about Geechee, if you want to talk about your horrible ass verse on Bars I-95, we could talk about all that. I'll send you the link right now. I'm hanging up. What you want to do? I don't want to hear that half sleep. When you called me last night, I was half sleep. True or false? Now it's the gym in a minute. Wait, so you see how you catch these niggas in these live chat? He said, I'm half sleep. Then he said, I'm about to hit the gym in a minute. That was his exact words. He just lied to me. Enjoy your lives. Yo, why y'all niggas be so scared of me live? Yeah, I got you. I'll meet you in a second, G. I got you. I told y'all we talk every fucking day. He called me last night and I was asleep. So I called him this morning. So like I'll do that to a lot of people. I'll do that to Charlie Clips too. Like Charlie Clips and me joke a lot behind the scenes. He'd be like, yo, I know I'm hitting you past the RBE office being closed time. It's like 7 p.m. Niggas be hitting me at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And if I don't pick up or if I'm asleep or whatever, I return the favor. I'll be calling them niggas back at like 4 a.m. and shit. I swear to God, I be doing that shit. I be fucking with y'all because y'all know I'm an early bird. So y'all will call me late. All right, bet. I got some payback for you. But where was I? Yeah, so we had a very, very fun debate and conversation at times, just debate mode, and at times being very, very serious about our past and our present. Like I said, about an hour and a half conversation me and Aye Verb had. You know, we jumped into like this court and jury thing or whatever, where we were playing prosecutor and defendant. And I was beating the shit out of you, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And you get your fave back publicly if you want. You get your run back. I was beating the shit out of you, sir. But in the midst of like that 90-minute conversation after Verb called me so that we can get on the same page about a couple things, I brought up him and Holly because that was already around some of the conversation. And that was actually what spawned some of our initial tweets going back and forth, right? So I said, man, what's up with a ceasefire? And then the rest of that is the rest of that. I'm not here to get into that, right? So that's how that conversation started. So Aye Verb and I, we have it in our capacity to get on cam together. There's a like a mini face off with me and him having fun right before he battled Ill Will in Full Circle. And like I said, we just did it for like 2 hours, damn near, about a month ago on the phone or a couple weeks ago. So I will continue to extend that in your direction, sir. And also let me address this, and then I'm going to get into my direct topic of why I said, let me put this out here publicly for Aye Verb. Let me stand on a similar platform to you in the public. Okay. Aye Verb, I don't want to hear any response of them's coming from other people. I'm just responding. I'm just retweeting. This is what such and such said to me, or this person said to me, or this fan said to me. Sir, let's think a little bit higher level for a second. Aye Verb, you are to be looked at like a legend. You are to be looked at as a GOAT. You are to be looked at as a spokesperson for battle rap. You are to be looked at as a pinnacle, pivotal, and pillar within battle rap, right? That's what you have earned. That's the legacy that you have created. That's how long you've been here. That's what your name is supposed to come with and to garner, which means that when you represent a certain position, or when you speak on a certain topic, or when you address something, I'm going to give it more weight. Fuck everybody else. I'm going to listen to it more. I'm going to pay attention to it more. Nobody needs to tell ARP, which operates at a way higher level, that this came from some conspiracy theorist blogger that I don't pay attention to and I don't give two shits about, or some trolling, stupid ass, mental midget ass fan that decides to say, oh, look what I found. I don't pay attention to those people. You know what I'm saying? I either ignore them, block them, mute them, or they never cross my path. I don't operate on that low level of frequency. But when I have what I assume to be likes in thought capacity, what I assume to be likes in legacy, what I assume to be likes in people that actually stand on shit, that should stand on shit, because we actually also have voices and influence. Those are going to be my targets and my priorities, sir. So I just want to take that off the table before you say, hey, man, I'm just retweeting and just saying, all right, cool. So my issue with you, sir, and why I am here, and let's be clear. Yes, I brought Hitman up on my live, right? And we addressed the elephant in the room. And we did it from the standpoint of him and Geechee on the way, November 9th. I also brought Geechee up here, asked him the same question, and he actually sided with you. So there you go. That was nice and fair. Outside of that, yeah, I was also in the spaces with Gerald McCoy. That shit all came to a head. It was time. It was time. And y'all know me by now. Y'all, Verb, you've known me for about 11 years, right? Like, how long is ARP going to go with somebody saying his name in any light that detracts from who I really am before I finally say something, right? So if you put my name next to anything, sooner or later, I might just speak up for myself. Y'all know me. You know me very well, sir. You know what I'm saying? We've been around each other forever, 11 years, okay? So here I am. You got a lot of tweets. You got a bunch of recent lives lately with ARP, and it's all good. Like you have your narratives, you have your angles, you have your views on things, you have your truths, you have your realities that you live in. I don't take that from you as a man, but my name being involved in anything that I disagree with, I shall contest, sir. So what you did yesterday was you're using me as a pawn. And I'm going to challenge that with anybody in the world. Anybody. I'm a king on my own chessboard. I'm nobody's pawn. I'm on nobody else's chessboard unless I'm tactically stepping in that realm temporarily to just move efficiently. If you understand what I'm saying, there's this matrix called life. But I'm a king on my own chessboard. I'm an alpha. I'm an independent, very solid, rare breed individual. Nobody can use me as a pawn. If I allow myself to be used, rooking better. All right? Rooking better. But you're attempting to use me as a pawn. And you have a voice, and you are somebody that is to be respected in the culture as one of our GOATs. So that's why I step in. Okay? Now I know that there's a lot of people that I would apply the old school Jay-Z lyric to. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? I reference it because I know that I'm speaking amongst a lot of mental midgets at times. I'm here on the public fucking internet. Whether a video that I'm in does 1,000 views or 100,000 views, I'm here on the public internet. Of the masses, how many people have that level of mind capacity? The minority. How many of these people do I actually expect to understand truth? Right? I don't even give that much credit to the internet. That's why I be here fucking putting a puzzle together to people and explaining shit. Because I don't even expect people to interpret truth adequately all the damn fucking time. And I'll be here for it. You know what I'm saying? So the porn shit, we're not going to do, Verb. Okay. I made a very, very clear point yesterday. And I actually thought that the point that I made would be respected with honor. Why? Because I'm such a real nigga. I'm such a real man. I'm such a real person that I can be over here and actually be close friends with Hitman, right? That could be my guy. I could be more on his side of the gate with any issue that he has with a bias, right? Because that's my friend. That's my guy. And still cut a camera on and say some real shit. He can't challenge it because my realness within ARP comes before anybody. Nobody could challenge my realness unless I allow it to be challenged. Nobody can step above me. I'm in my own skin. That's how I am as a man, right? So what I said on camera yesterday, you're actually supposed to take with honor, right? Because you would assume, as you say, everybody jumps in the car with holla. That's one of your narratives, right? And that's y'all war. Y'all do y'all fucking thing, right? Y'all too. Holla's a big boy, and so are you. Y'all can continue to do y'all thing. Figure that out on the or whatever, right? But if you think about it, when you're out here saying everybody jumps in the car with him, if I come out here and I make a public statement that says something that Aye Verb said, principle wise, is actually spot on, you should actually respect it. Don't spin it in towards using me as a pawn. I don't respect that. And that's not real, sir. And one thing I know that you're smarter than that. So I know that you didn't miss the point because there's people in the comments of the fucking video that get the point. People in the comments that are just answering for me. I don't have to be here. I'm here on my own accord. When Holla called me last night, he called me about the John Cassidy Faceoff, okay? Not about this shit, even just now. It's not about this. This is me on my own. Nobody tells me what, none of that shit. Nobody, not my father, not my brother, nobody. This is just me. This is what I want to do. I say what I want to say. You see what I'm saying? And you know that about me, my man. You know that about me, sir. You know what I'm saying? That's why you tweet. You say, ARP Gemini, you're going to say, you're going to stand it. I'm here standing it right now, right? So for the mental midgets, I'm not re-explaining it. I'm actually just enjoying what I think was a great topic yesterday about loyalty. I think there's a lot of jewels. I get you see me retweeting on my Twitter. I got people hitting me up saying that, yo, there was jewels in that shit. I needed to hear that. The way you broke that down, and that's one of the things that people come to this podcast or this channel for. Those gems, those jewels, those thoughts, those angles, that type of life experience. It's one of the reasons why even my close circle respects me. Okay? That's what I always come to the table with. And y'all don't see different from me over the years. So don't paint me as different. Don't try to use me as a pawn in y'all war with that shit that y'all doing on the internet or you're doing and he's doing. Don't put me in that as one of your pawns. I'm a king on my own chessboard. Okay? And it's just so ridiculous for anybody that can't even interpret. I don't care about no conspiracy theorists, bloggers, or no trolling mental midget fans that can't keep up with me. My channel ain't for them, right? But it's clear, Verb. I'm simply saying that, dude, in reality of the world and principles, if somebody fucks with somebody that hurts you, right, they on some fuck shit. Principle-wise, when Verb says that, generally speaking, he is correct. But behind the scenes, I actually killed that narrative when it relates directly to Holla and me. Because if you say that, generally, you're right. But if you are indirectly trying to say that towards ARP and Holla, I'm clearly saying you're wrong. Because behind the scenes, I'm the one that's right there, damn near negotiating and helping and calling Gerald and calling Holla saying, yo, Code Red, let's figure this out because we want the money and the sponsors to still be on the table. So Mook versus Holla can happen on URL. If you or anybody else missed it, I ain't for you. You can't keep up then. You know what I'm saying? So, Verb, if I want to give you more benefit of the doubt, I would say just go watch it yourself. Don't allow a mental midget to tweet you or clip me and send it to you, and then you insert that onto your timeline or into your videos and use me as a pawn in you and Holla's war, right? I don't appreciate that. That's not real. And I deserve more respect than that. And I will continue to give you more respect for that than that, which is why whatever I say in private is my private business. Wherever I stand in private is my private business. But even me not inserting myself into this shit publicly is giving you a level of respect. So don't use me and pull me into something, especially in a capacity where you're 1000% wrong, regardless of who sent it to you. Do your own homework. Read your own narratives, interpret your own messages of what I'm saying, apply your own truth and reality. And then, like I said, if you're going to use me, Rooker better. Okay. Thank you, Verb. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm done with the Aye Verb part. Cassidy and John Faceoff not going down yesterday. So y'all even asked me in a super chat yesterday. Somebody asked me, like, what do you think about the lack of promotion, or what do you think about the Faceoff not happening? And I gave a very honest answer, but it was slightly politically correct. I didn't dance, but I just didn't dive all the way into the details of it. Why? Because I respect the position of a league owner. I respect the position of a battle rapper. I respect the position of business between multiple parties, and the event hasn't even happened yet. It's happening today, right? And I was trying to be careful not to detract and put any negative light on somebody that's selling a product, because I know what it's like to be there, right? And that's why I said, let's talk after, right? Even John is saying some of that in his interviews. Like, you could kind of tell, like, his vibe is like, he's not saying everything, right? Because there's still liability and things that he needs to complete in front of him. Now, I will start by saying this. Cassidy is an extremely, extremely, extremely good businessman from my experience, right? Even the way Cassidy moves outside of business with me has been with extreme integrity. Extreme integrity. For example, when we did him and Hitman, right, at Max Out Part 1, the way that Cassidy negotiated, the way that he delivered, the way that he went above and beyond, the way that he held me down, the way that he operated before and even after the business was tied up, I have to say that in his credit, man. I would be a clown if I didn't represent that. I will represent that forever, man. Like, the guy, I have a lot of respect for him. Got a lot of respect for him. After that, people know that him versus Charlie Clips was on the table. Him and Freeway came along. And over the years, you guys know how I've had to interact with certain battlers when they get approached and they get the kitchen sink thrown at them in ways to try to thwart what RBE might be doing. It's no different than the Cass and the Freeway battle. I broke this down and spoke about this many, many times already. But the way that he handled that behind the scenes was that of super integrity, like communicating to me. And that's all I've ever asked with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, ARP, this is happening. Yo, ARP, this was said, this was done, or whatever. And then I was even in the same position of what I got to break down in my loyalty blog yesterday. Cass can co-sign this. You know what? Me and you operating at a different level of rapport and loyalty. Go get your bag for that freeway situation. We'll get back to this Cassidy talk later on, right? It was operating at a loyalty level, at a man-to-man, a more integrity level. So even when there was no money on the table, I watched Cass move with integrity. Recently, I told y'all behind the scenes the situation I had with Jag, right? Jag, out of nowhere, out of thin air, sent me my Cash App deposit back. And what I explained on camera, and I'm not trying to bring this back up, Jag. Shout out to you. I hope you're doing well. This is more for Cass. So, but I got ahead of that behind the scenes because I knew what he was doing. He started telling a couple bloggers behind the scenes. I sent ARP his deposit back, and I got in front of that, and I was just like, no, they're not gonna spend that. It was Cassidy. It was Cassidy that I got on the phone with Jag and said, "Yo, what are you doing? We don't. First of all, number one, we don't move like that. We don't be playing with the business, and we don't move like that as artists. And number two." That's ARP. Like ARP is solid. ARP, one of the ones that you don't do that shit to. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. And that's when Jag sent the deposit back because of Cass. You know what I'm saying? So all of my friendship and all of my experiences with Cass is just like, do solid. Do very, very solid. And I say that to say, when I see all this controversy about these face-offs coming up, I'm sorry, y'all, but it just makes me feel like there's got to be something else happening that the world hasn't heard about yet. Whether that comes out or not is a different story. But I've always been the guy, especially being somebody that has experience in multiple industries or fields where I have the standpoint and the perspective of like a general fan, as well as behind the scenes where you see all the mud shit. Like, oh, okay, this is why they can't decode all of that. Like, and it's no different here. So for me to know Cassidy the way I know Cassidy, and also, you know, see the things that I'm seeing be said publicly, it just, my initial position has to be like, something's missing. Something ain't adding all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Now, to be fair now, let me speak on John's side. I saw John say, you know, it's in the contract, et cetera, et cetera. Now there's a couple face-offs that didn't happen last night. Now I stayed up. I told y'all on my stream last night, I was like, yo, we done with our Philly stream. I'm trying to come back after the face-off. I swear on everything. I was laying in my bed like this, and I had my TV playing the Shrug Life Network channel, and I was just like this, hoping that by the time I hear somebody say Cassidy and John face off, that it will wake me up. Matter of fact, I think Highlands Calls one of the things that woke me up, because I heard in between, like, yo, I just heard a part where niggas was like, they have it. I was just like half sleep. I was I cut the TV off. Like, it was like 11:30 at night or some shit. I stayed up. Y'all niggas know my bedtime is like 6:30 p.m. I was here for it. I was like, all right, we're going to get the face off. It's all good. Because by the time, I know how it is with public perception and energy. It's like, okay, you got this controversy about the pre-face off not happening. To be real, that's been the biggest promotion of the card. I'm being so real. All jokes aside. And then I'm like, all right, by the time you do the face off the night before, everybody's going to forget that. Because now you're going to have a Cassidy and John face off, and that's what everybody's going to talk about. And as the hours go past, people will forget all the other shit. But then when that didn't happen, now I was being politically correct, and before, now I'm like, oh. And now it's like, okay. Right? Now there's some other face-offs, to be fair, that I also see did not happen. Everybody knows Rex is one of the face-off kings. That's why I want to see Cassidy and Rex. Bad News is one of them too. Rex and Bad News is a potential classic face-off. You got Rosenberg, you got You got Snake Eyes, you got Rex, you got Cassidy, you got Hitman, you got shit. That's some of the top face-off people that is get your popcorn time. So Rex wasn't there. I know John held him down and said, something happened and he missed his flight or whatever. But if I'm a league owner, I read into that. Like, it's something that I'm holding him down, but technically we're supposed to be doing this fucking face-off. Let's keep it 1,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rex. That's not a shot, my nigga. Shout out to Rex. Rex, my guy. That's not a shot. But I'm listening to John explain it. Then another one too, Jazz. No Jazz. Now, I could see John being more focused. It would make sense on him and Cassidy. Number one, it's the main event. Number two, it involves Cassidy, right? He said that one of the reasons why he's calling it Endgame is because Cassidy is being booked. That's one of the reasons why. So I get it. And then on top of that, they're both local to each other. So you should be able to get a shot, get it done. So I think there's more about that. We saw Cassidy speak on Hip Hop Is Real. And he said some things that I think in his shoes make sense. Maybe the fans, or maybe if you're a league owner, you may not always agree with some of that. But if you're the artist, some of that, I could see his perspective, right? Because I think that any big rapper, I said this on the phone yesterday in private, and I'm gonna say it publicly. Because it might be a gem for league owners. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Let me tell y'all league owners something. No matter how big of a battle rapper you think somebody is, a Loaded Lux, a Murder Mook, a Cassidy, a Hitman Holla, whoever you consider the top draw guys, they all have a level of ego. All of them. Even the biggest guys in the game, they don't want to be involved in an energy or a rollout that feels like because they feel like it makes them look bad. It's like, damn. Like, if you put Murder Mook on that on Calico's card, Murder Mook's comfort level goes through the roof. He gets to feel like I'm the top of all of this dope shit going on. That's right. Thank you, Calico. We here. It's no different than with me locking in Hitman and Calico, and me and Hitman being on the phone, and I'm telling him, like, I'm spending a lot of time figuring out this co-main event. I know that Hitman's the draw, but the card matters. No main event big draw person wants to be on a card where they feel like there's not enough energy beneath them, because they don't want to have to drag it. And if I want to jump out of hypotheticals, if you don't want to believe me as a league owner, there's a real world example there for you. It happened with Murder Mook versus Tay-Rock. The whole fucking battle rap culture tore that card down. They said the rest of the card is trash. They hated it. They killed it on the promo run, even though you had Murder Mook and Tay-Rock sitting at the top. Do your history. Do your history. Let me continue to use examples of the God tiers, because I speak a lot of facts up here. Even my opinions be very, very strong and hard to argue. Another one, to me personally, Mook, this ain't a shot. Shout out to Mook. Mook and Big K. I got interviewers asking me to my face on camera, are you happy with the promo from the Blue Room event that had Murder Mook and Big K? They're asking me those questions for a reason. I think Mook retracted because the initial announcement, people was just like, nobody asked for this. Mook and Big K, what are y'all doing? Now, as a league owner, and this is now like towards John and other league owners. As a league owner, you always got to stand confident. You always have to back your product, right? If the fans are tearing it down, you have to be the first one out there saying, this is actually gold. And you have to believe it yourself. You know what I'm saying? When I did Aye Verb versus Mook, I'm staying with all the God tiers in my examples, y'all. Good job arguing with me, because I got so much history and so much facts. When I did Mook and Aye Verb, mind you, Aye Verb and Pat Stay was locked in. Rest in peace, Pat Stay. Aye Verb and Pat Stay is locked in. Judge battle. The Mook, what RBE was doing is we were booking our next event, even though we hadn't completed that particular event that was in front of us. And this is one of the reasons why we stopped doing that as much. It's like, yo, we like to not backlog ourselves so much. Let's just complete what we got going on, look at the scene, and then see what makes the most sense for us. That's another reason. When you try to just line up 4 or 5 cards in a row, something's gonna stumble on itself. But anyway, so the Mook idea came up. Let's bring Mook back to battle rap. And the decision became like, let's give him the Aye Verb. But the Pat Stay battle didn't happen yet, didn't complete yet. And he lost that judge in the building, right? Verb lost that judge in the building. It's all good, right? The backlash as people started to figure out that it was Aye Verb, and then when we finally announced it, because we even pushed the announcement back a little bit, because we was like, yo, we got to let the Pat Stay and Aye Verb loss kind of like die down a little bit. This is all marketing shit. This is all marketing and trying to navigate and time things. When you're a good league owner, this is part of the job. Okay. When we finally got to the point where it's just like, yo, the buzz is a little too heavy. Everybody kind of knows it's Mook and Aye Verb at this point. There's leaks. People talk. At the end of Aye Verb's third round versus Pat Stay, he calls out Murder Mook, and Murder Mook sitting right there in VIP. It's like, Cass out the fucking bag. It's like, all right, let's announce it. It is what it is. And we got backlash. Van and Mook calls me on 3-way. Van is Mook's manager. Shout out to my nigga Van. And the attitude was like very protective of Mook's brand, rightfully so. And that's how they've always moved, right? That's the right thing to do. And it was more so like, all right, let's confront ARP with our concerns. This Aye Verb shit ain't good. I have to, at that point, as the face of the brand, as the owner of the brand, as the league owner, stand on my two. And I said, yo, listen, this is going to work. First of all, you're Murder Mook. It's been 4.5 years. He just lost, but that's still Aye Verb. And also, this is RBE. We're going to stand behind this product. We're going to promote it. We're going to push it. We're going to come up with our narratives. One of the narratives that we came up with on that phone call where we were debating, like, yo, how do we go about this now? How do we navigate this? One of the narratives that we came up with was, Mook, we can tell the fans that one of the reasons you're battling Aye Verb is because he beat the people that they're saying he should be battling instead, i.e. Surf at the time. We got to come out and just spin a narrative and say, all right, y'all are screaming, why ain't it Surf? Why ain't it T-Top? Aye Verb beat the shit out of Surf in what? Chicago. That's just a narrative. It's just us fighting the narrative. It's us marketing. It's us saying that Aye Verb is good money. Aye Verb is gold right now. Aye Verb is a good opponent. Aye Verb makes sense. You have to convince the people in front of you, and you have to actually believe what you're saying. And that's actually true. And here's another fact behind it. Mook exposed it in the Mook and Aye Verb face-off. Mook was carrying the plan, the behind-the-scenes plan, then he got into the face-off, and Aye Verb said something that got under his skin, and Mook exposed the behind-the-scenes. He's like, that whole narrative of you beating Surf or whatever, we're giving that to you. I'm giving you that right now just so we can sell you. He kind of cracked the third wall. What do they call that in Hollywood? The third wall, the fourth wall? He cracked it and exposed it in front of the fans because he just got irate at Verb in the face-off. All this shit that I be telling y'all, it's all chronicled there. It's all there for you. Once again, good luck arguing with people like me. It's all right there. I could pull it up. If I ever got to get back to editing blogs, y'all, it's all there. And you have to back your product like that. The Cassidy and Hitman announcement wasn't gold. Hip hop is real, and 15 Minutes of Fame was putting a camera in every single person's face saying, what do you think? Even Oops, who was somebody who was birthed damn near out of RBE, got interviews. I remember everything. I was like, man, I don't want to see Cat. Like, niggas is killing them. But if Cassidy happens to be somebody that's feeling away from the initial announcement, he's got the league owner behind him saying, we good. I got you. When I'm on camera, I'm saying, Cassidy, nah, that's one of the original guys. You know what I'm doing? I'm getting on camera doing reactions to even his mixtape shit, saying, y'all crazy? Y'all remember this nigga's bars? Bring niggas in your crib like your older sisters and shit. I'm like, I'm doing reactions to his mixtapes. I'm like, no, we back in the product. I got his back. I made this decision. Blame me then. And you rolled out the red carpet for these big artists and sometimes big egos. You have to do it. You have to do it. And I think one of John John's mistakes is activating the battle rapper side and promoting things and saying things in a way of like he's booked here from like as a draw, instead of being a league owner and promoting that you're respecting him as an artist. Because if I'm Cassidy and I'm in business with you, I understand that we're battling each other. But even the league owner side, I got to pay attention to, like, you're still the contract. You're still the platform. And you're telling me, like, sometimes that is not a good position to put an artist in. You're going to make the artist retract. You have to roll out the red carpet and you have to sell something as being gold, even if the fans' initial reaction is that it's bronze. This is game, people. This is fucking game. This is game. And I'm not saying that any of this is the reasons why we're not getting a face-off, but I was politically correct yesterday, trying to spin and get away from that topic. And then we see what yesterday and John's talking. So now we here now. And now I'm here to add, you know, some experience to the conversation. And people take from it what they want to take from it. Chat, what up? Shout out to the members too. And I says, interesting. Y'all got going on it, yeah. What you say, love? You sold Mook himself, laughing my. Listen. I still believe that that's the reason why Hitman and Mook didn't happen on RBE. That's my opinion. It will always be my opinion because I know what happened behind the scenes. And it's you just gave me, love, another example of why I'm saying from experience and from examples, like even with Mook and Tay-Rock, is I see it a bunch of times why no matter how big of a draw an artist is, you still have to put them in the spot where they're comfortable, where they feel like their brand is protected. You still have to put them on the red carpet. You still have to manage ego. That's part of being a league owner, managing ego. There's sometimes I'm on the phone with some of these battle rappers and I'll be wanting to tell them to eat a dick. You know what I'm saying? But as a businessman and as an owner, you know, like the manager can't come from behind the counter, isn't supposed to come behind the counter and say, what do you mean your French fries is cold? I don't give a fuck. That's your fault. Get out of here. Next time, wait until they come out fresh. Like, no, the manager's got to come out and say the customer is always right. Let's get you another batch. Right. Same thing with people missing flights and shit, and John taking them politically correct stances that he just did in these interviews. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Battle rapper, yo, my bad. I woke up late. I'll be wanting to be like, yo, how you're a grown ass fucking man in business with a signed contract. What the fuck you mean you woke up late? Got to activate my league owner side and be like, all right, how do we fix this? Do I need to call the fucking airport for you and change your flight? Like, where do we stand now? You know what I'm saying? As when JC battled Saya, shout out to JC. I'm just going all the way back with examples. He missed his flight, and I think it was the day of. And shout out to JC for still being committed. He missed his flight, and I'm on the phone with him, and I'm like, stay there, go to another desk and see if there's a flight into New York by this time. Right. And then he walked like to a couple carriers, different airlines. He found one and he put me on the phone with them. And I did the card transaction right there on the spot with him. And when JC then came and did the battle, that ate into his back end. You know what I'm saying? And JC, tell me if I'm lying. It actually was more than his back end. And he had his own situation. and I chipped them off in the venue and said, "Here, hold on to this," because I know you're probably pulling up expecting to have something in your pocket. I just paid this on your behalf. So technically, I have no back end for you. You owe me money now. And I still hear this something right here because just so you're not moving around in a certain way while you in New York. Real nigga shit. Right? So that's the spot we be in. Like, I gotta turn your faults still into a red carpet. It's a shitty spot to be in, especially as unprofessional as battle rap is. It's not easy for me to sit here being the type of man that I am and be like, okay, how do we fix it when you just couldn't fucking get up and get to a flight? Right? As I be wanting to tell you, like, you fucking dickhead. Like, what do you know what I'm saying? You can't do that as the owner, as the manager coming around the counter, as the face, as the business representative. You can't do that. It's another reason why I retired. Hey, this was like 2014, so cut some slack, okay? Don't just do it that general and random. This was 2014. JC's pay has definitely increased since then, okay? So y'all stop that. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. There wasn't a Jazz face-off, there wasn't a Rex face-off, and Cassidy is the one that's being honed in on because that's probably the one that you expected a pre-face-off for. Even though Rex and Bad News, I would have attempted a pre-face-off for as well. This isn't a blame game. I'm just giving some experience and I'm giving some history of battle rap so that we can find areas to learn from and improve on. And I also am of the belief that more will come out after the event is over, probably from both Cassidy and John. I think Cassidy has some stuff on his side that he probably just hasn't said yet. And John probably does as well. And if neither one of them says anything, I'm gonna mind my business and I'm just gonna enjoy the battle tonight. And I'll be here live tonight to recap the battle. And I'll leave it there. I'll leave it here. Right. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cassidy has some things that he would say by the time the business is wrapped up, as well as John. And if they don't, they don't. If they do, they do. We'll see. Not as much anymore. That shit is coming off piece by brick by brick. That shit is coming off. I think I do a good job of being relatable to many different types of people. Right? You could put me in the room with the geeked out silver spoon billionaires, and you can put me in a room with murderers. And I can be relatable. Like, people won't feel uncomfortable with me. So it's no different. It's another element that also makes you successful in any lane of business that I've been in, whether it was business ownership, storefronts, landlord, manager, league owner. I've been in all these different positions where people have to come to you as the owner or as the leader. And I have a pretty good you're not going to be liked by everybody, but I have a pretty good track record of people appreciating my style, my personality, my demeanor, and the way I communicate, and all those. And those are just, once again, pieces that can be added to a league owner. You either got it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why there's janky promoters, there's janky league owners, there's stupid league owners, there's shitty, there's all of that. Because there's all these different elements that make you a good business person, or a good manager, or a good leader, or a good owner. There's qualities to it. It's financing, it's personality, it's intellect, it's decision making, it's troubleshooting capabilities. It's all of this shit wrapped up into the person, right? Anyway, as you should. Such a good live last night. I appreciate that, Jim. Yeah, we pivoted last night, man. That live was for RJ, my guy RJ. And because he was having Geek Squad issues, you know what I'm saying? I had to pivot while I'm sitting there live. We just went Philly. You know what I'm saying? We started doing a bunch of reaction videos and all that. It wasn't planned, it was off the cuff, and I'm glad y'all was able to rock with it. All right, let me say your name at this point. Canasia. That's a dope name. Canasia. If I'm pronouncing it right, Canasia. Hey, Canasia. Shout out to the members. Now you likable. I appreciate that. I hope to be. I hope to be. This is still Earth, so you can't be liked by everybody. But you know, we are who we are. Risk assessment is the difference. Got to do a lot of risk assessment in business, let alone battle rap. Right. All right. Good live, y'all. 50 minutes in. Appreciate everybody that joined in. We will be back here to recap Cassidy versus John. With the only disclaimer of if somehow that event is so late that my early bird ass I just can't hack it. I'm gonna do my best, man. Yeah, maybe I'll set an alarm clock. I'm gonna try to be here to recap Cassidy versus John tonight, and probably pieces of the rest of the card too. So shout out to Bullpen. Wish y'all much success. I'm gonna cop my pay-per-view. We should all be supporting. This is still battle rap. And despite the controversy, hey, some people operate at a level where they say all publicity is good publicity, right? So regardless of where you stand, we're here talking about it, right? So let's now move that same energy into the actual battle. And if some great battles happen, including John versus Cassidy tonight, that's another thing that could erase the controversy. Like imagine if this is the best form of Cassidy. That can erase the controversy. I said this to Chris on the phone the other day. He asked me, did I ever take somebody's back end because of something they didn't fulfill contractually? I said I did it to one person. But I gave him an example of another person I was going to do it to. It actually was a female. It was a female battler. And me and Shatu was standing next to each other, co-hosting the battle. And this person deserved to be docked from their back end, from the lead and the professionalism of the battle. But as the battle was going, it's actually in the footage. Like, I forget whether I lean into Shata's ear or he leans into mine. Like, one of us whispers in the other ear, like, no, we ain't gonna dock her. It's all good. Because the performance was so crazy. So in the moment, we let it go. We were just like, all right. And that's what I mean about, at the end of the day, now the face-off is the second biggest thing that people's thinking about. The battle is the biggest piece of it. If they get up there and they have a classic, which then pushes VOD, pushes the views when it drops on YouTube, pushes the replay value, all these things, pushes the talk. Everybody's talking, all this type of stuff. It's one of them ones for time to come. It will erase all this other shit. It really will. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for that for tonight. I'm going to be tuned in. Y'all got my money, and I wish y'all much success. Either way, however it goes down, we will be here in a sorry is true mode.